Folks, it looks like we need to have an adult conversation about the real world. There's been a lot of misinformation, a lot of clickbaity stuff around a 40-year mortgage. A lot of people are telling you that FHA or the government did this or that. The 40-year mortgage is here to stay. And this channel brings on experts in the industry. So we get to ask them. We have the one and only Jonathan from Convoy Home Loans. How you doing, buddy?
I am all right. I'm in cloudy San Diego today.
You don't actually say those two words together very often, cloudy and then San Diego, but I guess it happens once in a while.
Yeah, San Diego.
San Diego. There you go.
Anchorman.
That's good.
Anchorman, yeah. Yeah,
So what,
it's rare, but
yeah, so what's going on? You tell first folks how long you've been in the game. You are one of the principals at Convoy.
yeah, I think
And then we'll just talk about the 40-year.
yeah, I mean, I've been in the game, I think for about like 8, 10. I can't remember anymore. But
Long time, right? You're
long
not
time.
you're not a poser.
I know I look young, but I've been doing it for a while. It's just the Asian gene, you know? And then not having kids or, wife, all that adds to it too. But
There you go.
yeah, and then in terms of
You're gonna get hate for that one.
oh man, I know, but it's because I work so hard. I work too much.
You don't have any time. You don't
Yeah,
have
exactly.
time for a relationship. That's how you could say it.
Exactly. But what was I'm like blanking out. What was the second question you asked me about?
Basically, I wanted you to establish your expert. You're not some TikTok tween
Oh yeah.
talking about the 40-year mortgage. So,
We just-
so what's going on? Is the 40-year back? Is it here? Do we all get to use it? What's going on?
It's crazy. Well, I mean, to establish again, we talked about it last week, but we're top 5 in the nation for non-QM, and then top 6 for total overall volume. And that's, for 2 years being around, that's huge in terms of Convoy. But that's, the expertise. The second thing is obviously, with that being said, there's so many people on social media and a lot of people hitting us up, Dustin and myself. Hey, I heard about the 40-year. I saw it on social media. Can you tell me about it? I'm like, well, my first question is always like, hey, sure, what about the 40-year? And they go, oh, well, they said that FHA is now giving 40-year fixed mortgages out, and that's going to bring my payment down, and I can do 3.5% down on my purchase, and then also get a lower down payment. And obviously, the nicest way impossible, I tell them, hey, that's not possible, right? And clients know, like, I'm not afraid to tell them, like, no, right? It's not, because you have to tell them no. Someone has to say no. It's not possible, right?
Yeah.
So the misconception right now is that the FHA has rolled out a 40-year fixed program that allows for 40-year amortization on a purchase or refi, and that's obviously not true. Right. Yeah. We've talked about it on the channel last week. We'll talk about it again. The 40-year fix is not on the FHA front, is not what we think as a 40-year amortization loan for purchases. It's modifications, right? It's people that have been in default, people that have not been able to pay. Like the lenders are doing these, 40-year fixed modifications to allow for people to catch up and get back on their feet. Not necessarily you can go out and buy a house with 3.5% down on a 40-year fixed.
Yeah, there's a couple things I just want to hit from my side. Again, not in the game like you are. Again, a 40-year is not an option for FHA purchase. It is simply one of the approved tools that they frankly know works, right? One of the things that we saw with the 4.3 million folks in forbearance is a lot of those workouts, as I think they're called, was an extension in term. It was taking the back payments and creating a silence. I mean, there's all kinds of ways. What is very different today versus what became the 2008 crash is banks are working with homeowners. I have to tell you, I was in the game back then. They were not working with homeowners. These things were packaged up. They were tranches in various CMBS. They didn't know who owned what. Homeowners were kicked out left, right, and center. Now, this environment's very different. You get behind, you can click. Most websites now for banks or mortgages, you can go click a forbearance. You get 90 days with a click of a mouse. That was not the case in the past. Now, when you go to workout, you can extend the loan. You get a 40-year, you get a second. It's basically a tool to keep somebody in a house. That is it. It's not an option for purchase, correct?
Correct, correct. And I also think it's a way to cover the bank's butts too, because
Exactly. Yeah.
there's a bunch of people defaulting on their loans, right? Then just things start crashing down, right? So they don't want to repeat what happened in '08, and they realize that in order to do that, they need to work with the consumer.
Mhm.
And you know, they want, I think mostly, you know, we say it's helping other people, but they only care about themselves. So
Of
I think
course.
it's more like, you know, it's helping other people, but it's actually like serving themselves by
Yeah.
not by
Preservation.
their credit
Yeah.
rating and everything they, you know, with on Wall Street to make sure that they're not going to crash the market. So
Yeah. So, okay, FHA does not have a low down 3.5% 40-year mortgage. That said, you and I go back, I think it was our original video. You can get a 40-year mortgage. It is a
correct,
non-QM product. It's
correct.
just not a low down
Exactly.
mortgage.
Exactly. Because you can do it on your primary, secondary investment. Like it's all possible, you know, whether it's full doc, bank statement, DSCR, like all of those are possible. But right now in this lending environment, Dustin and I have said it multiple times in the past, 40-year fixed is probably not the best product right now because
Oh no,
you're
given
paying
the
extra.
rates.
Yeah, why would you want to stay? Like, if you know that you're going to refi out in the next 5 years, most likely, right? Why would you put yourself in a 40-year fixed loan? It doesn't make sense. Put yourself in a 30-year fix. Kind of that's what we're kind of doing more. ARMs, there isn't as much of a difference in ARMs versus 30-year fix. So if you want to take a little higher on the 30-year, just to hedge against the market in case, just in case everyone's wrong and rates don't come down, right?
Right.
Which is an extreme possibility because last year going into this year, we didn't think like last year, we didn't think rates were gonna, you know, do that in like such a short period of time. We thought it would be a gradual increase, but it just shot up and stopped everything. So you know, I think it's good. If anything's taught us anything in the last 2 years, it's hey, it doesn't hurt to hedge,
I
right?
agree. I'm a big you've I mean we've actually had battles. People go back in your playlist. I'm like, nope, 30-year fix,
Yeah,
30-year fix, de-risk, de-risk. Nope, 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 nope. So
yeah,
I'm glad we agree at least, at this time. Because again, I think the spread. I mean, again, I'm not in the game, but I went to one site and it was like, dude, why is the arm more expensive? Who the hell would get an arm when the rate's
yeah.
higher? I mean, that's crazy.
Exactly. It's because all the yields and everything are messed up right now. So it's like because it's so messed
Wild.
up, like, you know, nobody's buying the arm when they, you know, it's like it's just all messed up. Like the whole market right now, just for all the viewers, is it's really confusing and it's really messed up. You know, it's important to know and trust who you're working with because
Yeah.
people are going to tell you so many different things right now, especially if anyone tells you, hey, FHA has a 40-year fix now, you should cut.
Run,
Just
run.
get out of there like as fast as possible
Yeah,
because
they do not
that's
know what they're talking about. That's
yeah that
crazy.
that but we've seen it, like we've seen it happen and people are actually talking about it and calling us and asking about it. So you know that's why we have a full-fledged video talking about this because
Yeah.
it's very very important that people understand it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But you can if you want to, like if you really want to you can, but I don't recommend it. Mike doesn't recommend it right now. You know, if you can do a 30-year and conventional or non-QM, whichever you qualify for better, whichever is better for the deal, then, you know,
Mhm.
that's what you go for.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw this hit my social media like last week like a thunderstorm out of nowhere. And I don't know about you, but I actually read this stuff and I'm like, I don't know what these guys are reading. So in my research, one of the things that I found, it was I think it was about 6 or 9 months ago, they were talking to the FHA president or whatever they're called, right? The top dog. And they were asked about a 40-year before all of this stuff. And he said pretty matter of factly, we will never offer a 40-year product. Never. His word, not mine. Never. So
Never say never,
don't
though.
count on it coming. At least not with this
Never-
guy.
it's funny. It's funny because we say never, but they say never, but there's always some type of thing
Yeah.
that happens that might require. I mean, you know, we're talking about Japan last week with like
Yeah. 50
figure
year. They
50
have
year.
50-year mortgages.
It's
Crazy.
it, it's just how it is. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff happening in the environment, especially with the yuan, you know, Russian money, and you know, it's crazy right now. So who knows what's gonna
Folks,
happen?
you got to work with a professional. You got to have somebody really that's going to tell you what's going on and tell you the truth. Hey, it's not possible. Convoy Home Loans is supporting many one rental at a time fans each week. How can they reach out and get to work with you or Dustin?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com and let us know you came from ORAD.
Yep. Let him know from ORET. You get the 2 top dogs. Thanks, buddy.
Mhm.